Before July 31st ends, say these 5 words, and something inside you may finally begin to move. Not because midnight holds a secret spell, not because 5 words can force life to obey you, and not because every painful problem will disappear before you wake up tomorrow. The real reason is deeper. There are moments when your heart becomes ready to stop fighting the very good it has been asking to receive. There are moments when one honest sentence can interrupt months of fear, doubt, and silent disappointment. This may be one of those moments for you. You did not find this message by accident. Some part of you is tired of carrying the same weight into another month. You have tried to stay hopeful. You have smiled while feeling uncertain. You have told people that you are fine, then sat alone wondering when your life would finally change. Maybe you are waiting for an answer, an opportunity, healing in a relationship, relief from financial pressure, or simply a sign that you have not been forgotten. If that is where you are, stay with me. The 5 words I will give you are simple, but the way you say them matters more than most people realize. Most people will never hear this, not because it is hidden, but because they stop too soon. They repeat beautiful words while their hearts are still arguing with every syllable. They ask for a new beginning while secretly believing they do not deserve one. Then they call the practice useless. But before I tell you the 5 words, stay with me, because what comes next can completely change how you understand miracles. A miracle is not always a thunderbolt from the sky. Sometimes it is a door you finally notice. Sometimes it is the courage to make the call you have delayed. Sometimes it is the right person appearing after you have stopped chasing the wrong one. Sometimes it is peace arriving before the answer. And sometimes the miracle is not that life changes instantly. It is that you become strong enough, clear enough, and open enough to meet the change when it arrives. Take one slow breath. Let your shoulders fall. You do not need to prove anything here. You do not need perfect faith. A tired heart is still allowed to hope. A confused mind is still allowed to begin again. And a person who has been disappointed many times is still worthy of receiving something good. Welcome to the channel. This is a place for quiet strength, spiritual clarity, and the reminders your soul often needs at exactly the right moment. If this message already feels personal, subscribe and stay with us. Not from pressure. Do it as a small promise to yourself that you will keep choosing words that bring you back to your power. Now listen carefully. Before July 31st ends, the 5 words are these. I am open to miracles. Say them slowly. I am open to miracles. Do not rush past them because they sound simple. Simplicity is often where truth hides. Each word carries a different movement. The first calls your attention home. The second brings you into the present. The third releases the locked door. The fourth creates a bridge. The fifth gives your mind permission to recognize a possibility it could not see while trapped in fear. There is a reason the end of a month can feel powerful. Researchers who study behavior use a phrase called the fresh start effect. They found that people often feel more motivated near meaningful time markers, such as a new week, a birthday, a new month, or a new year. These markers help the mind separate the person you were from the person you are choosing to become. The calendar does not perform the miracle. It gives your mind a doorway. July 31st is one of those doorways. It is a line between what has been and what may come next. You can cross that line unconsciously, carrying every old thought with you. Or you can cross it deliberately. You can decide that the next chapter will not be written entirely by the wounds of the last one. Do not skip this part, because this is where most people make their biggest mistake. They treat a deadline like a threat. They say, I am running out of time. Nothing happened. Another month is gone. That language creates panic. Panic narrows your attention. It makes every delay feel like defeat. But a spiritual deadline is not supposed to punish you. It is supposed to wake you up. July 31st is not the end of your chance. It is the end of one way of seeing yourself. Here is the truth nobody says out loud. You were never required to feel fearless before beginning. You were never required to understand every step. You were never required to hold perfect faith all day. You only need enough willingness for one honest sentence. That is why the first word is I. The word I brings your power back from every place you left it. It brings it back from the person who did not choose you. It brings it back from the opportunity that did not work. It brings it back from the opinion that made you question your worth. It brings it back from the past version of you who made mistakes while trying to survive. When you say I, you are not being selfish. You are taking responsibility for the one life you can actually live. You cannot control who apologizes. You cannot control when another person changes. You cannot control every event. But you can decide who is speaking now. Not your fear, not your shame, not the voice of someone who underestimated you. You. There is a lesser-known truth about self-affirmation. In psychological research, effective affirmation is not simply repeating an unrealistic compliment. It often means remembering a value that is genuinely important to you. Family, faith, courage, kindness, creativity, service, integrity. When people reconnect with a real value, they can become less defensive and more able to think under pressure. One study found that a brief values affirmation helped chronically stressed participants perform better on difficult problem-solving tasks. Pause and quietly name one quality that life has not taken from you. Maybe you still care deeply. Maybe you keep showing up. Maybe you protect the people you love. Maybe you continue praying even when your voice shakes. That quality is evidence. It proves that the hard season did not erase you. Say the first word again. I feel the difference between something must save me and I am willing to meet the help that comes. The second statement contains partnership. It leaves room for grace, but it also leaves room for your response. And the next word is where your power stops living in yesterday and tomorrow. The second word is am, not I was, not I will be when everything becomes perfect. I am. This tiny word places you in the only moment where a choice can be made. Yesterday can teach you, but it cannot receive for you. Tomorrow can call you, but it cannot act for you. Your life touches you here. Many people unknowingly postpone their own permission. They say, I will feel worthy when I succeed. I will trust myself when someone approves of me. I will be grateful when the answer arrives. I will rest after every problem is solved. The finish line keeps moving, and peace is always one event away. Do not skip this part, because your future is listening to the language you use in the present. When you say I am, you are not predicting a distant identity. You are choosing a present posture. You are saying, right now, before the evidence is complete, I am willing to stand differently. Your mind may resist. It may remind you of the unpaid bill, the unanswered message, the closed door, the medical worry, or the lonely evening. Do not attack that voice. It is trying to protect you from disappointment. Thank it. Then return to the present. You do not need to claim that everything is perfect. You only need to claim that this moment is not powerless. The word am breaks that pattern. It says your identity is being formed now. You are not permanently trapped inside an old description. You are not only the person who was rejected. You are not only the person who lost money. You are not only the person who made the wrong choice. You are the person listening now, breathing now, choosing now. Say the first two words together. I am. Do not decorate them. Do not force emotion. Let them be steady. I am. You may feel nothing dramatic, and that is fine. A seed does not make noise when it opens underground. The most important shift may be quiet. But the third word asks something difficult from anyone who has been hurt. It asks you to unlock what fear has been guarding. The third word is open. Open does not mean unprotected. It does not mean saying yes to everyone. It does not mean ignoring wisdom, boundaries, or warning signs. Being open means refusing to let one painful experience close every future door. You may have prayed for love and received betrayal. You may have worked hard and watched someone else receive the opportunity. You may have trusted a plan that fell apart. After experiences like these, closing feels intelligent. The heart says, if I expect nothing, nothing can surprise me. But numbness blocks more than pain. It also blocks connection, creativity, help, and the courage to try again. Openness is not blind positivity. It is flexible strength. It is the willingness to say, I do not know how this will change, but I will not declare that change is impossible. That is why open is better than pretending. You are not saying, every desire is already mine. If your current reality makes that statement feel dishonest, your mind may reject it instantly. Open creates space without demanding false certainty. It says, I may not see the path yet, but I am willing to see it. Do not skip this part. Ask yourself one question. What good thing have I been pushing away because I was afraid it would not last? Maybe someone offered help, but receiving made you uncomfortable. Maybe you got an idea, but judged it before taking one step. Maybe you need to send an application, share your work, ask for guidance, forgive yourself, or rest long enough to hear your own thoughts. A miracle can knock softly. Fear expects it to break down the door. Say the first 3 words. I am open. Notice that you are not chasing. You are not forcing. You are not collapsing. You are available, present, awake. And what comes next is the smallest word in the sentence, but it changes the direction of everything. The 4th word is to. To is a bridge. It means movement toward relationship. You are not open in an empty room. You are open to something. Guidance, grace, a new idea, a better choice, an unexpected connection, a truth that changes your direction. People often speak about attraction as though desire alone pulls a finished life toward them. But real transformation usually includes participation. You notice an opening. Then you answer it. You receive an insight. Then you test it. You ask for direction. Then you take the next honest step. This is where spiritual trust meets practical movement. If you ask for peace, your next step may be turning off the noise for 10 minutes. If you ask for financial change, your next step may be reviewing one number you have avoided. If you ask for opportunity, your next step may be sending one message. If you ask for healing, your next step may be making an appointment or telling someone the truth. The action does not replace faith. It gives faith somewhere to walk. Researchers call one useful method an implementation intention. It is a simple if-then plan. If a certain moment arrives, then I will take a specific action. Across many studies, these plans have helped people turn intentions into behavior because the decision is made before distraction or fear takes over. Your plan tonight can be small. If I notice an opportunity tomorrow, then I will pause before saying no. If I feel fear before taking my next step, then I will breathe and act for 2 minutes. If I receive a helpful idea, then I will write it down before judging it. If I start repeating the old story, then I will say, I am open to miracles, and choose one useful response. 2 also teaches humility. It reminds you that you do not create every blessing alone. There are people you have not met, ideas you have not learned, answers you cannot calculate, timing you cannot control. Whether you call it God, grace, the universe, or the quiet intelligence of life, there is something sacred about admitting that your current knowledge is not the limit of what is possible. Do not skip this part, because openness without direction becomes drifting. Choose what you are opening toward, not a specific person's control, not revenge, not proof that everyone else was wrong. Open toward what is honest, life-giving, and aligned with your deepest values. Say 4 words now. I am open to. Leave a small silence after 2. Let the sentence wait. Let your heart feel the empty space before the final word. because the final word does not describe only an event, it describes a way of recognizing life. The fifth word is miracles. This word can create hope, but it can also create confusion. Some people use miracle to mean an instant violation of every natural process. Then they miss the quieter miracles because those miracles arrive wearing ordinary clothes. Miracles do not always feel miraculous at first. A cancellation can protect you. A rejection can redirect you. A season of silence can reveal which voices were controlling your decisions. This does not mean every painful event is secretly good. Pain is pain, loss is loss. But even inside a hard reality, life can produce an opening that the hard moment could not predict. There is a lesser-known lesson in gratitude research. In one study of gratitude writing, later mental health benefits appeared to be connected less with using many positive words and more with using fewer negative emotional words. Think about that. The shift was not simply louder positivity. It was less rehearsal of resentment and pain. That is important because attracting miracles does not mean shouting over your sadness. It can mean giving sadness less authority over where your attention goes next. Gratitude is not denial. It is the decision to notice that pain is not the only thing present. Do not skip this part. Your brain is constantly filtering more information than you can consciously process. When fear dominates, the filter becomes excellent at finding threats, rejection, and evidence of failure. When you deliberately hold a meaningful intention, you may begin noticing relevant choices and opportunities more readily. That is not proof that thoughts magically control every event. It is proof that attention changes what you can recognize and how you respond. Spiritual life has always asked for both mystery and responsibility. You cannot command every outcome. You can prepare your heart. You can tell the truth. You can take the next step. You can remain available to grace. Say the complete sentence again. I am open to miracles. 5 words. Not a demand, not a bargain, an invitation. Now you need to know how to say them before July 31st ends, because repeating them mechanically is not the practice. Find one quiet minute tonight. You do not need candles, special music, or a perfect room. Sit where you are. Put both feet on the floor if possible. Take a slow breath in. Let it leave without forcing it. Then name what you are ready to stop carrying into the next month. Say, "This happened. It affected me, but it will not be the only voice writing my future." Then name one value you still choose. Courage, faith, honesty, love, discipline, compassion, freedom. This makes the affirmation real. You are not building on fantasy. You are returning to a part of yourself that the difficult season could not destroy. Now say the 5 words once. I am open to miracles. Pause. Say them a second time, but after the word open, relax your hands. Let your body receive the message that it does not need to grip every outcome. I am open to miracles. Pause again. Say them a third time, and this time think of one form of good you are willing to notice. Not one rigid outcome. A category of good. Guidance, healing, honest opportunity, support, clarity, peace. I am open to miracles. Then ask, what is one step I can take in the next 24 hours to meet the good I am asking for? Do not demand a dramatic answer. The first honest step is often small. Drink water and sleep. Write the message. Delete the number. Open the document. Make the appointment. Check the application. Apologize. Ask for help. Spend 10 minutes learning. Put aside a small amount. Pray without performing. And then comes the part most people avoid. Release the result for the night. You do not plant a seed and pull it out every hour to check whether it believes in you. You create the right conditions, then allow time to do what force cannot. Sleep without hunting for a sign. Wake without testing the universe. Let your first miracle be a few hours of peace. If nothing dramatic happens before midnight, the practice has not failed. The date marks your decision, not the deadline for life to perform. Some answers arrive quickly. Some arrive through a sequence. Some arrive as the strength to accept a truth you were resisting. You are opening a chapter, not placing an order. Be careful with people who promise that one phrase guarantees money, healing, or a specific person's return. Hope should make you more awake, not easier to manipulate. Spiritual trust should never stop you from seeking medical care, financial advice, safety, or practical help. Real faith does not fear wise action. But even when you cannot control the outcome, you can choose your relationship with this moment. You can close, or you can remain wisely open. You can repeat the old verdict, or you can leave room for new evidence. You can wait passively, or you can take one aligned step. That is the emotional shift these 5 words carry. I returns you to yourself. Am brings you into the present. Open loosens fear without removing wisdom. 2 creates a bridge between trust and response. Miracles reminds you that reality may contain possibilities your current pain cannot see. Before July 31st ends, do not ask yourself whether you believe with perfect certainty. Ask whether you are willing. Willingness is softer than certainty, but it is often more honest. A door does not need to disappear. It only needs to open enough for light to enter. Stay awake to small evidence. Notice the impulse to try again. Notice the moment your body feels calmer. Notice the friend who checks on you. Notice the information that arrives at the right time. Notice the boundary you finally have strength to hold. These things may not become a dramatic story, but they can become a different life. And when an opening comes, participate. Do not use spiritual language to avoid the work that your answer requires. Walk through the door. Learn the skill. Have the conversation. Follow the treatment. Keep the promise. The miracle may open the path, but your feet still have a sacred role. Before you go, listen to this one last thing carefully. This may be the most important part of this entire message. You do not need to become a different person to deserve a new beginning. You need to stop abandoning the person you already are, the one who is tired but still listening, the one who has been hurt but has not lost the capacity to care, the one who is uncertain but willing to take one more step. Everything you just heard, you already knew somewhere deep inside. You only needed someone to remind you. Tonight, let July 31st become a quiet line in your story. Before the day ends, sit with yourself. Name what you are releasing. Remember what you value. Speak the words 3 times. Choose one action for the next 24 hours. Then rest. I am open to miracles. Carry this sentence without desperation. Say it with dignity. Say it as someone who no longer needs to chase every closed door. Say it as someone willing to recognize peace, guidance, love, courage, and unexpected opportunity when they arrive. And if this message found you during a difficult season, leave these 5 words in the comments. I am open to miracles. Let that be your declaration before July ends. Not a performance for strangers. A written promise to yourself. If these words gave you even one moment of peace, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We will keep meeting here for messages that help you return to faith, clarity, and your own quiet strength. The month is ending. Your possibility is not. Take one slow breath and say it once more. I am open to miracles.